Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the first official, and I mean official, episode of the MC podcast with MC. And it feels great to be back. It's a new era, completely new era for me, myself, and I. And I spoiled this. I essentially spoiled it pretty much as soon as I kind of got back. What happened is that I feel like all throughout the last school year, I kind of lost my motivation to get back into doing a podcast, something like that. And no, that's just a lack of motivation for it as a whole. My mind being at a completely different mindset. And now it's just like I'm working again for the summer. And it's just I've been in a good mindset and I just feel an itch to get back into it, which I never thought I would have, but I finally have made the time to actually commit into this, and here we are, man. And I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about this. As you may know, I'm testing out a new camera right now. As you may know, I have another channel called MC where I'm using a different type of camera just for post-game coverage for the NBA Finals. But this episode, I'm just going to use a different camera. And if it goes well, if the camera is just working very well, I will use it for the foreseeable future. But like I said before, these episodes will come out every Sunday. They'll be roughly around 30 to 45 minutes episodes, and we're just going to stick to that time zone. But this episode, we're just merely going to just talk about the first 4 games of this NBA Finals series, because this wasn't my initial plan. My initial plan was not to discuss the NBA Finals in this podcast, but this Finals has been so good that I just want to make a full space recap for the people that just have missed my recaps of the first 4 episodes. If not, go check out my MC channel. I have made recaps for all 4 of those games, and for the foreseeable future, I'll continue with that with games 5, 6, and I'm going to be still active on that channel. Don't get me wrong, I'm going to be very active on that channel. If anything, that channel is a lot easier to upload things because it's just record a video, edit a little bit, and then get into YouTube. But this is just like you really have to edit the video. You got to edit the audio, make sure the audio is clean, working very well. Get it set up to audio platforms, get it scheduled for video. But like I said before, this is going to be scheduled out every Sunday where I just discuss the main things that happen. And so this episode, we'll be discussing more about the NBA Finals. I think next episode, we're going to discuss more about the Survivor side of things because I've not gotten the chance to discuss the Survivor 50 cast. And we'll go on from there if free agency starts, and we'll probably discuss more about the NBA free agency. We'll discuss more about NFL. We'll discuss more about lifetime situation, things going on. But yeah, man, great to be back. But like I said before, we're going to discuss about these NBA Finals because this NBA Finals has been, in my personal opinion, I have said this in the past as well, this is the best Finals we've gotten since the 2021 NBA Finals series. Now, I'm not saying it's an exact replica of the 2021 Finals series, but in terms of just enjoyment, this is by far one of the best we've gotten in such a long time. And it mainly has to do with the play styles of both the Indiana Pacers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. We're coming into this final series, even just coming into the playoffs, OKC was a favorite. OKC was the favorite to come out of the Western Conference, and rightfully so. They were the most dominant team all season long. They were the most active defensively all season long. They were most consistent offensively all season long. They've been the most active offensively. They've been the most active defensively. They've had the MVP on their team. They have a well-constructed roster on their team. Even though Chet missed a few games throughout the entire season, they've still been able to remain consistent on the defensive end with his presence missing. The additions of Alex Caruso and Isaiah Hartenstein were really big for this team. And it's showcasing itself throughout this entire postseason where they've just been the most dominant season this entire playoffs. And when you look at Indiana, they have one of the most dynamic offenses ever with the lead of Tyrese Halliburton being the number 1 guy there. I mean, he is a dynamic playmaker who has such a super old school, just a super old school process in his brain to get his teammates going, obviously, like the old school playmaking type. But he also is a really good scorer when he tries to score the ball. And my thought process with that kind of an archetype player has changed a bit with this entire playoffs, where hey, maybe they are an effective player. It's just they have to put in the right circumstance. And this is what Tyrese Halliburton is. Rick Carlisle has showcased himself to be one of the best coaches in the league. Pascal Siakam showcasing himself to be one of the most underrated players in the league and rightly deserves to be an all-star this year and should have been all-NBA, but they did not put him there. But this Pacers team dominated the first-round series against the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis there. Although injuries happened, they were still by far the better team compared to those two. Then they beat the 64-win Cleveland Cavaliers team, which needs more discussion. The fact that they beat a 60-win team on their process to make the NBA Finals as the 4th seed is really damn impressive. The way they did it completely dominated the entire series. Tyrese Halliburton having an iconic game winner in Game 2. And then you look at the next series in the conference finals, which was big because, Game 1, the bounce to send the game to overtime pretty much set the momentum of what the series is going to happen. Where Indiana, rightfully so, won the series in 6 games. And now they're in the NBA Finals for the first time since 2000. And this Finals has not disappointed in the slightest. These two teams are giving us some of the best basketball we've gotten in such a long time. And it is such a relief to see. It generally is a relief to see. Only it's just proving the doubters wrong, saying this is one of the most boring finals of all time, where people like to bring up the term of viewership. And don't get me wrong, viewership is big for sports. You want to make as much money as possible, but at the same time, who cares? We're not getting paid for it. If anything, the NBA is getting paid for it, but this is also good and bad for the NBA. I mean, yeah, bad. It's not getting a lot of viewership, but good. It's like, this is going to be a 7-game series potentially, so more viewership can go on as games 5, 6, and 7 happens. And we're getting great basketball with it going on, Just 2 small market teams in the NBA Finals, I feel like just makes for great basketball, in my personal opinion. I mean, we saw that with 2021. We saw that with, even 2011, 2012, 2006, just these great series out there that just showcase like the underdog team just playing better than what they've been expected to. When we get the last few NBA Final Series with like 2023 and 2024 specifically, where it was just a steamroll. It was literally just a steamroll. Like 2023, I'll give break because games 2 and 5 were actually really damn close games and deserve more credit what they deserve. But look at 2024. Last year's finals was just a complete snooze fest. And I've essentially gave up talking, discussing about it because everyone knew Boston was going to win the series. And they deserved to win it. I mean, they were by far the best team all season long. But it was kind of not enjoyable to watch. This is the exact opposite. I mean, both these teams are playing really well, but they're also playing poorly. And that's leading to entertainment, but it's also good analogy to analyze this, to say there's no flawless team out there for these two teams. And let's discuss about OKC first, because we'll discuss each game by game. But OKC is, my personal opinion, one of the best defensive teams of all time. And it may not show that from the box score numbers. Obviously, you're not going to force a team to go under 80 points. This is not the 80s. It's not the 90s anymore or the 2000s. It's not that kind of an era anymore. This is a very offensive-heavy era now. But OKC forces the other team to have so many damn turnovers. And that's big. You want to force that. To be a championship team, you want to prioritize on the defensive end, obviously. You want to do that. And to have multiple guys that are able to switch, just be a different type of bar on another defender and force turnovers is big. And that's what this Thunder team has been doing all playoff run. They could be down big any game, but they're able to still be back there with one thing being their defense. Alex Caruso was such a big addition this offseason. I know missing Josh Giddey's big, but Josh Giddey, as good as he's been this season, I don't think he would fit with them in the long-term run. We add like a guy like Alex Caruso, who, in my opinion, is one of the best role players out there in the league, who has really improved on the offensive end. Everyone knows he's a great defender. He's been the great defender all his career, but as an offensive player, being able to make just little backdoor cuts, making mid-range shots out there, making three-pointers and being a really damn good three-point shooter. I think he's averaging a pretty solid efficiency out there. Let me just pull up the stats right here. Alex Caruso is averaging, 35% from three is below league average still, but he averaged 40% from three-point shooting last season, which shows that he's a capable three-point shooter. And look at just shooting splits out there in the postseason. That's just regular season stats, but in the playoffs, he is a 39% three-point shooter on 5 attempts per game. For a guy that comes off the bench, I would like to see him take a little bit more three-point shooting, but he already does so much for the team already with just him being a great just being a great backdoor cutter out there, a great defender, a pretty damn good playmaker as well, crashing the board in the most really crucial parts of the game. I mean, he's averaging, I thought he'd be averaging more rebounds, but 3 rebounds per game is not that bad. Steals, 2 stocks from steals in this postseason run with OKC. He's just been impressing me over and over and over again all playoff run. And he deserves more recognition. I mean, he just had a 20-point game in Game 4. He had a 18-point game in Game 2. Coming up big in the NBA Finals. For his second finals appearance, obviously you're the only guy on the team that's been in the finals prior to this season. And to be able to just play this well, man, is necessary. Coming off the bench, just playing incredibly well for Alex Caruso, man. But, yeah, man. SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is the second thing. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is one of the greatest scorers this league has ever seen. And we have to start accepting that. We really need to start accepting that he is one of the best scorers out there this league has ever seen. Actually ignore that. One of the best players this league has ever seen. Already solidified himself as a top 75 player after the season. I don't care if he loses the finals. He has been having an incredible finals run. I can't even pull up his final numbers right now. He's not had a bad game all finals for his first finals game. They have not updated him. Basketball Reference has not updated, but he had 35 this game on pretty damn good efficiency. 24 points on alright efficiency out there, but that's still not that bad. I mean, he didn't play that bad last game. 34 points in Game 2. 38 points in Game 1 for his first finals game. He had the highest scoring. I think it was like him. Yeah, I think it was him. I think he had the highest scoring. Like, he put up those first 2 games. 38 plus 34 is 72. That's the highest scoring from a debut guy to make the NBA Finals, I think. It's really damn impressive, man. He's been that great. He generally has been that great this finals, and he's one of the greatest scorers of all time. Just hear me out, man. Scoring isn't just being a hooper or out there, all right? For me, I don't just dock you. If you just can shoot the ball, like, really pretty efficiently, like a Carmelo Anthony archetype player, which people say he is the top 4 scorer of all time, which is ridiculous. I don't say you are the best scorer just of being a good shooter or from mid-range. I don't say that. The best way to score the ball is getting to the paint. Like, I want a guy that just get a bucket. I don't really care about mid-range shot. If I am building a team to win a championship, I want a guy that could score any way as possible. And getting to the paint is more efficient than being a mid-range shooter. Getting to the paint and getting rewarded with free throws is a better scorer than a guy that can just get a mid-range shot. Carmelo Anthony is an all-time great. He's a top 75 player of all time. But I do think his play style is drastically overrated, and I think where he ranks among fans out there is overrated because of the fact that he does not have anything outside of just being a good scorer out there to be actively great player. I mean, like I say, like just being an all-time great guy, like that can lead you to a championship. Where towards a guy like SGA, I know they play 2 different positions, but SGA is one of the best mid-range shooters of all time. We already know that. One of the best slashers for a guard of all time. And one of the best guys that can get to the free throw line. I know people like to compare him to James Harden for the wrong and right, because James Harden got to the free throw line a lot. And James Harden obviously is a way better 3-point shooter out there. Don't get me wrong, James Harden is a damn good 3-point shooter, but I think Shea's probably a better slasher. I generally think he is. To where there have been comparisons to Kobe out there, and rightfully so. I'm actually starting to see the comparisons to Kobe. I really am. Like, obviously they compare him to the way that he just takes mid-range shots. I see the comparisons out there. But even just him getting to the paint is what I compare him to Kobe. That, like, I kind of see that. Now, don't get me wrong, Kobe's still a better player. Like, Kobe's a way better defender than Shea. But Shea is, like, offensively, there's still comparisons out there for sure. But, yeah, Shea has just been insane this finals, man. And then you look at the other guys out there. I mean, you have J-Dub, you have Chet, you have Lou Dort, you have Isaiah Hartenstein, you have Aaron Wiggins, you have Casey Wallace. Those guys, great all playoff run, man. Now, we'll get to the negatives later on this team, but those guys just bring a good product of defense, obviously. Those guys are all really damn good defenders out there. J-Dub made All-NBA for a reason. Lou Dort is one of the best perimeter defenders out there in the league. Chet, when he's healthy, is a damn good defender. We know that already. Isaiah Hartenstein's a big body out there. Aaron Wiggins is a solid two-way guy. Casey Wallace is also a solid two-way guy. This team just has so much wing depth on their team. They're so long, but just have a lot of length on their side on the defensive end that they could just force a lot of turnovers on your hand. And just being a guy that was able to catch and shoot the ball from 3 really well. I mean, look at guys like Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, Alex Caruso, like I said, Lou Dort, Chet Holmgren, J-Dub, just all these guys can shoot from 3. Outside of Isaiah Hartenstein, but he does his role well of being a great rebounder and a great screener, obviously. Look at Indiana's side of things. I mean, obviously, we know the superstarness of Tyrese Halliburton. Tyrese Halliburton is one of the most dynamic players in this league right now. Great playmaker, good scorer, good shooter out there. Could be a bit more aggressive, but that's not his type of role this team is. He likes to let everybody eat in this offense. That's why you see guys like Aaron Nesmith and Obi Toppin and Andrew Nembhard and Ben Shepherd and Miles Turner. Just guys that just eat in the offense, man. Pascal Siakam got traded to this team midseason in 2024. Showcasing his presence already. Back-to-back at least Eastern Conference Finals appearance for this team. As soon as Pascal gets joined in there. They're just a much better team out there with Pascal being out there. He's not a floor raiser anymore. I just think that team would be a floor raising team with Pascal being the number 1 guy and Tyrese needs to be in the leash. But Pascal has been so damn good to where I don't even know what his ceiling is anymore. I really don't even know what it is because he's just been improving every single season. Mid-range shooting. 3-point shooting. Getting to the paint, obviously. We know how good Pascal is at that. A great defender out there. A good playmaker out there as well. Does everything out there on the floor that you could ask for a guy that just, people assumed that him being the next Giannis. I remember that thing back in 2019. But, man, Pascal's been a lot better than I thought he would be. Andrew Nembhard, former Canadian. Really damn good players. Well, really damn good defender out there. Aaron Nesmith. Yeah, the conference finals was just a big-time performance from him against the Knicks in Game 1. But also still a really damn good shooter and a really damn good defender. I know you got in foul trouble twice in this series, but that's what happens when you defend one of the greatest foul baiters this league has ever seen. But damn good team. Miles Turner, as much as he's not been playing that well this final series, he's still showcasing that he is a great shot blocker out there and a good stretch 5 out there, even though he's not shot the ball from 3 well this series. Or even the last 2 series, he not shot the ball from 3 well at all. And then you look at off the bench, Ben Shepherd and TJ McConnell, just two damn good players out there. Benedict Mathurin, not a big fan of his. I've expressed that opinion already on my other channel, but when he plays well, he plays well. I mean, he can shoot the ball from three well when he plays well, but he obviously makes some bad mistakes out there. Like specifically this game made some pretty bad mistakes. But yeah. But like these teams just have so many different type of pros and cons out there. When you look at the pros for Indiana, I mean, obviously their offense is gonna click at the right time. The offense is gonna click at the right time. But I really want to discuss their defense. And their defense needs to be discussed a lot more because their defense has just improved so much from last season to where they are a contender. They are a contender. They deserve to be here. I mean, they've proven that they deserve to be here with how they defended the ball, man. Limiting guys from being what they're actually supposed to be. You can't shut down Giannis. Obviously can't shut down Giannis, but limiting guys like Evan Mobley and Darius Garland and, Karl Anthony Towns and Mikal Bridges and Josh Hart. And even an SGA a bit, and even J-Dub and Chet a bit in this series, man. But this is a damn good defensive team as well. Not as good as the OKC, obviously, but really good. Really good for their expectations. But offense is obviously the big thing. Offense is obviously the big thing with this team. They click in the right times. Tyrese Halliburton sets these guys up in the right spots. They shoot a lot of three-pointers, which I really do like. I think more teams need to start shooting more threes because threes are just the most efficient shot out there outside of mid 2-point just getting to the paint. I just wish Indiana shot a bit more threes. But they already do convert a lot of three-pointers already. I mean, guys are just capable of shooting the ball from three. And let's just showcase ever since the Boston Celtics have won the championship that teams need to start shooting the three ball way more. But there are weaknesses with these two teams. There are significant weaknesses with these two teams, which just makes the finals more enjoyable, but also it's just like they're kind of blatant up there. For instance, OKC first. OKC, my issue with them is lack of playmaking outside of Shea. Lack of scoring outside of Shea at times. That's kind of my issue. It's just what happens when Shea's off the bench. Now, when they played decent when he was been off the bench throughout the entire playoffs, but this series, I think Shea's had the highest plus minus on this team by a long shot. I don't think it's even close either. To where I know J-Dub had a really good game 4, but I don't think his presence was really there that much. Yeah, he had a 0, plus minus 0. Shea had a 0 as well. Chet had the highest plus minus this game. But, like I said before, it's just like the offense outside of Shea because there are many times, especially these last 2 games, even game 1 at the end of the 4th quarter, where the offense looked kind of rough. I'm not even going to lie. And that's to be expected because I just don't think Chet and J-Dub are on that kind of level yet. They're still very young. I mean, Chet is technically a year 2 player. J-Dub is a year 3 player. So it is to be expected. They're still on rookie contracts. They've not had the opportunity to learn from their mistakes, obviously, to grow because they're just expected to be on a championship contending team as soon as they get into the league. I mean, J-Dub had that 1 year where they barely missed out on the playoffs in 2023. Chet missed that season. They both got drafted in the same season, by the way. But last season was their first season, all 3 of them together. They were the first seed and lost to Dallas due to just mistakes, simple mistakes that they can make. The offense outside of Shea, the reliance outside of Shea. My problem with this team is really the over-reliance on Shea as a whole. As impressive as it is to Shea to average 38 points, 34, 35, I don't think, me personally, that can't happen if you're trying to win a championship, especially against this team. And what happened this game, in my personal opinion, was more on Indiana's side of things over OKC. And we'll discuss that more with this last game that we just had. But the reliance outside of SGA is in question. Now, they've gone this far for a reason. They've gone this far for a reason as well. So, I don't know if they're going to correct that mistake. They just need to win 2 more games to win you the Larry O'Brien trophy, which not many players history-wise have done that. So, we don't know what's going to happen in these next 2 games. We don't know if the offense is going to be clicking. There's going to be an insane ball movement out there, or it's going to be an SGA over-reliance where other guys struggle from the floor. Now we look at Indiana. Indiana, man. I think it's just the way the fourth quarter went on the offensive end. To where, yeah, they like to get everybody involved with the offense. That's good. That's very good as well. But they resulted to go into a bit of a more hero ball mindset in Game 4. That's what I'm trying to say. And it didn't work, obviously. It did not work. Guys just missed a lot of shots. But also, this is a team that fouls a lot. And obviously going against OKC with the MVP. That team, that guy gets to the free throw line a lot, obviously. They foul a lot. They generally do foul a lot, which is a big concern for them, man. Because if you keep these guys off the free throw line, you win this game. Without a doubt, you win this game. And don't get me wrong, that's tough to do, especially with a guy with Scott Foster reffing the game. But if you just keep these guys off the line, let's get 2 free points out there. Limiting transition fouls. Limiting technical fouls out there. Just limiting little issues like that. Just simple issues like that. You win this game. But not even that. It's just the thing about, even there's some flaws in their offense as well. Number 1, Tyrese Halliburton's aggressiveness. Now, don't get me wrong. Tyrese Halliburton, I don't think his role is to be a 30-point per game scorer. I don't think that's his type of game. I don't think that will ever be his type of game. Even though he's very capable of doing that with his scoring ability. But his aggressiveness, to the over-reliance on just needing to pass the ball. I mean, that's kind of what happened in Game 2, to where he's just played so passive that game. And that's a normal occasion with guys that just like to make the ball a lot. They are passive to an overextent, to where it's not needed when you just need a guy that can get the ball and just score the ball. I mean, I feel like I think he shot the ball like not very many times until the fourth quarter in Game 2. But I mean, I can't exactly remember. But yeah, he didn't shoot the ball that many times out there, specifically in Games 2 out there. And in Game 4, it's just like they resulted to go into a hero ball mindset, and the offense looked kind of rough, and the defense fouled too much in transition, turned over the ball too many times. But that's just how when you play against a team like OKC. But rebounding as well, and mismatch hunting out there as well. But still, really 2 really damn good teams out there. Now, just a quick recap of each game. Game 1, it felt like OKC really just had the game in their hands. Like, this is Game 1 of the NBA Finals in Oklahoma City. OKC played very, very well until the fourth quarter. I'm just going to pull up the numbers real quickly because yeah, OKC won the first 2 quarters, dominated defensively in the first quarter. Remember that. They forced Indiana to have 25 turnovers in the first quarter. And yeah, you win the game. You essentially win the game, but not making stops in the fourth quarter. taking your foot off the gas. I get it's a game one, but take your foot off the gas and you couldn't get stops to end the game, to where Tyrese Halliburton hits a game winner, even though he didn't even play well in game one. He had a plus 12 from the field up there. But, Miles Turner, he played decently in game one. Obi Toppin played very well. He made 5 3-pointers. I remember that as well. I think it's a game two, a bit of game two. OKC pretty much had that game on their hands. Aaron Wiggins, there were a bunch of memes out there from OKC fans out there, but completely dominated this game. Now, this was ended up to be a 16-point lead win from OKC, but it felt like a lot more bigger. It generally felt like a lot more bigger. I mean, all guys were pretty much cooking for OKC. Like I said, SGA was cooking, J-Dub was cooking, Chet was cooking. Dort did not have a good game, but look at off the bench guys out there. Alex Caruso and Aaron Wiggins both played very damn well. Aaron Wiggins made 5 3-pointers. Caruso made 4 3-pointers. Shea played like SGA out there. This is what you want from your team. That already forces so many turnovers on the other hand. They rebound them. They out-rebounded them this game. And that's just essentially what happens when you are the better team. You just take care of business like that. After you lose a heartbreaker like you did in game one, you take care of business like that, and that ties series up to 1 games apiece going into Indiana. Now, game 3 was very interesting for me, and this pissed me off out from OKC. At least to my point of me saying, what's their offense going to look like outside of Shea? Because my issue with them is they played really damn well offensively. The best I've seen them offensively, I mean, going in from games 2 into game 3, the best I've seen them offensively in such a long time. And they stopped going to it. I don't understand. I don't understand with game 3, because it's like guys like Chet Holmgren was moving off ball. They're running the offense to Chet Holmgren. He played so well in that first quarter. They scored 32 points in the first quarter. J-Dub was cooking out there, man. Backdoor cuts out there. Caruso, he only had 8 points that game, but he made some backdoor cuts. It's just a little baseline cuts out there, multiple of them. And Shea did not have to be super over-reliant to score. But they stopped going to that. They essentially played how they played like the first 3 quarters of game 4 after the first quarter of game 3. They pretty much essentially did that. They just went back to their simplistic, basic offense, which they don't have the worst offense out there. Obviously, the main thing has to do with Shea, obviously, but when they make a great offensive scheme, it is really damn good. But the thing is, they just stopped going to it. And mind you, got to give props to Indiana, obviously. I mean, they made the adjustment to throw just different type of defenders on Shea, to where obviously Andrew Nembhard and Aaron Nesmith were not the main primary defenders for Shea. They threw multiple defenders. Hey, TJ McConnell, Pascal Siakam, Miles Turner, Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, Ben Shepherd. They threw multiple bodies at Shea. And it pretty much got Shea out of his zone. And that kind of worked for the most part of this game. Also, guys off the bench. I mean, TJ McConnell, man, had 5 steals and 5 assists. I think the first bench player ever to have that stat in the NBA Finals, which was really big. Benedict Mathurin, he made 9 for 12 from the field, 7 for 8 from the free throw line, 2 for 3 from 3. Tyrese Halliburton, he made 4 for 8 from 3 that game. 11 assists, near triple-double in game 3 up there. And they have the game in their hands. Now, for me, from a fan, I was hyped for it, but also I could not overreact a bit, because game 4, it really doesn't, that's the most important game. You can lose game 3. That's okay. If you are the team that lost your series from, losing home court advantage, but you still have another opportunity if you take care of business at home still and get game 2. But game 4 was going to be big. Now, this game, I really felt like Indiana had it. I'm not even kidding. It really felt like OKC was going to go down 3-1. It really felt like that. And the thing with getting Obi Toppin 3-pointers, man. Obi Toppin was just cooking. And it felt like, it really felt like OKC had this game lost. And it's going to go down 3-1 back to Oklahoma City. It genuinely felt like that. But guys like Caruso played very well out there. J-Dub, 27 points out there. Chet Holmgren, he only had 14 points, but he had 15 rebounds out there. But Caruso and Shea, man, big time in that fourth quarter. SGA, I know they did not have that many assists out there. Shea had 0 assists. And they only made 3 3-pointers. 3 3-pointers. And they still won the game. It's really damn impressive. But that also shows that he got to the free throw line a lot. J-Dub made all 11 of his free throws this game compared to missing 4 of them last game. And they took the game. Series tied 2-2 back to Oklahoma City, man. And it's great basketball. It generally is great basketball to watch, but you really do see the flaws of both these teams of how they played, but also that's what you want, man. You just want another opportunity the next day for both these teams. And as much it sucks that Indiana blows the game, don't be surprised if they get game 5 or they get game 6 or something like that. Don't be surprised at all. The series is not over. It generally is not over. Like, OKC is still my favorite. They're still my favorite. I mean, I think the role players just play better at home. But this Indiana Pacers team, you can't sleep on. You cannot sleep on at all. You generally cannot. They're going to have a dynamic play style. They're going to be ready to go for game 5. And it won't be easy. It will not be easy. Okay, I have no idea what happened, but my camera just stopped working. But this is just behind the scenes blooper stuff, but I'm just going to make sure everything's going well. We're not that many minutes left of this podcast. We're just fully discussing the NBA Finals so far. But, yeah. I can't remember what I exactly said earlier, but the series is not over. I think the first game in Game 4 really showcased to me that it's not over till it's over. It generally is not over till it's over. You could play very poorly all game, but you still have a chance to win the game. That's what both of these teams have showcased me. You can turn over the ball 24 times in Game 1, and you could still win the game. You can only make 3 3-pointers this game and not have a great offensive game plan and still win the game. It's great. It generally is great to see these two teams that are 2 of the better teams all playoffs showcase their flaws. And it's great, man. It generally is great. It generally is great. Now, I know people are going to complain about the free throw situation. I get it. The free throw situation was not very good in Game 4. But a lot of those were deserved for SGA, I meant. I kind of looked back at that. I think Shea deserved some of the free throws. But you just got to put a body on him, man. You just got to put somebody tough on him. You just got to make it difficult on him. And you know what sucks that the refs won't let them play. There was this one play, I think. There was this one play where like Obi Toppin fouls Alex Caruso, and he just slapped him on the shoulder, but they called that a flagrant 1, which was just really stupid. Like last game, they did the same thing with Aaron Nesmith, but they called that a common. I don't know, man. And that one looked more severe, but I don't know, man. I don't know about these refs, but yeah, man. The only problem I have with the finals is I'll mention it again. The ESPN broadcast is so bad. It generally is terrible. I caught something. This is not related to the broadcast, just related to this. The guys analyzing the game, Stephen A. Smith. He was playing solitaire during this game, which is like you get paid millions of dollars to cover the sport of basketball on national television and you let to lie on national television to get viewership, yet you are not even watching the game and you just say some nonsense out there just to play solitaire. Which, I mean, you can do whatever you want. I don't care, dude. But like, at the same time, this is one of the guys that are covering our sport. But he sucks. Kendrick Perkins, you know my thing about Kendrick Perkins. I think he sucks as well. But like, the finals broadcast, I mean, Mike Breen, he's super boring. I think he's a boring personality, but no one will agree with me. But I just personally think that as well. Doris Burke is the only good one on that team, I think she's actually a really funny person. Richard Jefferson is actually stupidly annoying. Like, it's ridiculous how annoying he is. He talks so much. It's actually just shut up, dude. Please shut up. We're just trying to watch basketball, man. You don't need to say this nonsense every time, man. I know you're trying to do your job, but like, some guys don't really like it, man. Like, that's why fans say they mute the game, even though they don't actually mute the game. They probably lie about that IRL, but they don't, man. But that's just a nitpick. I know I discussed this on my MC channel, but like, that's just something. I just want to say something that, to fill up time. That's what you do to fill up time. But yeah, man. Yeah, like I said before, this will be a Sunday weekly thing where we just discuss anything I want, pretty much, essentially. But yeah, my camera stopped working, but I got it to fix, but it's giving me a different color scheme. So it might be 2 different color schemes throughout the entire video. Don't worry, it's not really a long portion of it. This is probably the shorter portion of it. But yeah, man. But like I said before, it's gonna be a weekly Sunday series. Can't speak. Sunday series. I'm not sure exactly what time they will all come out. I'm leaning towards having them come out around 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll let you guys know probably in the near future, but on the day that this is probably released on, but I'm going to lean towards Sunday for now because Sunday gets the most viewership for podcast, and that's my original date. That's when my first podcast came out. They came out on a Sunday, so why not do the MC podcast with MC every Sunday? Why not? That's just me, man. But like I said, next episode, we're probably going to discuss more on the Survivor rant. And potentially, that episode will probably come up before Game 7 of the NBA Finals. And obviously, I'll have a post-game coverage if there's a Game 7 of the NBA Finals on that channel, on my MC channel. But yeah, go subscribe to my MC channel and go subscribe to my links on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok out there. This coverage is obviously going live on Spotify as well, going live on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, etc. All the main platforms out there. And this is going obviously live on YouTube. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this episode. But we'll be back for next Sunday where we'll discuss Survivor 50. And it's been great to be back on this, just discussing the NBA Finals, man. I already did my post-game coverage of Game 4 today. And I decided to do my podcast afterwards. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Take care, and goodbye.